lots of different regulations, multiple currencies, multiple time zones, hundreds of products, thousands of distribution people.
Welcome to this masterclass series entitled Realizing the True Value of Data in association with Qlik, looking at how different segments of the banking industry can better use the data at their fingertips to add value to the business. I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy and Technology Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Duncan Ash, Senior Director, Global Financial Services at Qlik. In the final chapter of this video series, we will look at how better data and analysis can improve customer relations for wealth managers. Duncan, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Joy.
What do you say are the biggest challenges, the data challenges for wealth managers today?
Sure. Well, I guess it depends on the type of wealth manager, but if I focus on the medium and mass market areas of wealth management, I'd say that the biggest challenges are competition from each other, but also competition from fintech, from new entrants into the marketplace. And then when you look at their traditional businesses, a lot of the clients I work with have very large organizations, so they deal with multiple regions where they work, so lots of different regulations, multiple currencies, multiple time zones, hundreds of products, thousands of distribution people, and then many thousands of customers. So the levels of complexity in the wealth business are actually incredibly high, and in order to serve customers well, wealth management companies need to get they need to really understand their data well.
So how can wealth managers use the data at their fingertips to really improve their sales performance?
Sure. So I'll probably give you an example of one of the customers who I work with, a large wealth manager based here in the UK with many thousands of employees and have a very large distribution force. They want to understand the variance in their business between the very high quality advisors who perform well and some of the other advisors who are maybe struggling to keep up, try and understand what makes a good advisor, what are the characteristics and the attributes with the way that a good advisor treats their customers, so that they can measure everybody in a consistent way and try and bring the performance of everybody up. And what they've been able to do is to understand the types of relationships they have with their customers. Sometimes they have very large number of relationships with customers, so very wide customer base. And the way they've been successful is to actually narrow the focus of those advisors. So maybe have them focus on less individual client relationships, but do a better job with those clients, and make sure they focus on the right customers with the right relationships, so they can then target them with the right products at the right time, rather than try and take on too many people.
Okay, you touched on customer relationships as well, and obviously sort of deeper data analytics can also improve that. How can they do that?
Sure. Well, I mean, most of the organisations we work with measure customer experience. They look at things like Net Promoter Score to understand how well an individual advisor is treating their customer and whether the customer is happy. What we're able to do is help those advisors to associate the Net Promoter Score data with the sales performance data. So we could look at advisor performance. It could be performance by advisor, by group, by customer. So we can then see which advisors are giving the best performance, and then try and understand why. It becomes very apparent very quickly that there's a close correlation between giving good advice and high customer satisfaction. So you very quickly learn which of those advisors are performing well and which are not. Okay,
and what were the challenges to surface that data previously, would you say?
Well, it's basically being able to bring it all together. If you just have one source of information, then life is easy, but nobody has one source of information. People usually have lots of different sources, lots of systems, maybe lots of different CRM systems, lots of information from finance systems maybe if they want to look at client profitability. So in order to bring those systems together, you have to do quite a lot of hard work behind the scenes in terms of the way you work with data. And you have to do all of that before you can do any analysis. So then you bring in a new source like Net Promoter Score. You want to associate the Net Promoter Score for an individual or for a group of individuals with the people who are looking after them.
Okay. And my last question is really around, as we move into a a more mobile world,
Sure.
and there's a lot more wealth managers on the road.
Yeah.
How can they be better managed through better data analytics?
Sure. Well, a number of our wealth management customers have already been down this road, so they have a very large distribution force out in the field who physically go to see their customers. And so we deploy applications for them which run on laptops or mobile devices. And those applications give them better information when they're with the customer, but it also helps them as effectively salespeople to understand which customers they should go and see and why. So if I'm going to come and see you to talk about a specific product, which product is the best for you? Why is it the best for you? What is the best rate to offer you in order to win your business?
Great. Thanks so much for coming in, Duncan.
Pleasure.
So that concludes this masterclass series in association with Qlik.